Hello everyone, this afternoon on the marketplace, Ghana Union of Traders Association escalates its demand for urgent government response to the fast depreciating cedi.
The purpose of our gathering here this morning is to pinch the government to wake up and see the depth to which businesses in the country are crumbling.
Also coming up, interest rates near 30% as government surpasses T-bills auction target for 10 successive weeks. Head of trading at Republic Securities, Patrick Edem Agama, will be joining us with more. Plus, Bank of Ghana cautions public against unlicensed entities engaged in the provision of loans to consumers in contravention of the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for being with us. Details coming up. Those are traders, members of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, escalating their demand for urgent government response to the fast depreciating cedi. Members of the union have closed their shops today to protest the free fall of the local currency, which they say has eroded gains made post-COVID-19 pandemic and shocks from the Russia's invasion of Ukraine. They are asking government to prioritize the trading community to get access to foreign currency to undertake their business. Here's President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, who spoke at a news conference in Accra this morning.
I'm deeply saddened by the degree of signs of depression on the faces of all members of the trading community I see here this morning. I hope the government will swiftly and decisively act to salvage our plight for the better. As a trustee and manager of our national resources and the economy at that. No doubt, we all know that at this moment in time, we have serious difficulties as a nation. We are also not oblivious of the fact that there are global challenges with regard to the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the Russia and Ukraine war, which Ghana is no exception in this global phenomenon. One thing we need to clarify, we need to clearly understand is that issues regarding the pandemic have become a new normal worldwide. Likewise, the Russia and Ukraine war, which has no end in sight. It is for these reasons that we, as a nation, need to rise above these challenges and find appropriate solutions given our peculiar situation. Therefore, the purpose of our gathering here this morning is to pinch the government to wake up and see the depth to which businesses in the country are crumbling as a result of the following. 1. Rapid and continuous depreciation of the cedi. 2. Continuous rise in the interest rate. And 3. High rate of inflation, among others.
All right, that was President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, speaking earlier today. There were speeches from the Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Korea Importers Association, also lamenting the impact of the falling cedi on the operations.
Reminds me in 2015 when we took a unilateral decision to close down businesses because of the then decision that flat rates of 3% would have to be replaced by 17.5%. Today, our president, as we know him, has been the one who challenged the 12.5 VAT that was introduced and had a serious demonstration called Kumi Preku. Today, we are having to pay 19.5%, 6% and 4% in the different sectors of our economy. He is the one behind all these things, and today, if we got to this point of paying 19.5, he should then say, no, let's go back to 7.5, as he was then demanding. But unfortunately, under his tutorage and governance, we are seeing the worst in our history of this country. Now, under His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo's watch, we are seeing an escalating of inflation beyond repairs. It's as if this country has no anybody leading us. Everything has been let to fall freely. And if you see the city today, when they took over, it was 3.8. Today, we are paying 10 cities. And we cannot continue as businesses and importers. Whatever that decision that is taken today, we are going to go by it. And I will sound a warning that we shouldn't get to that point where industries and importers and retailers would then have to lay down their tools because the situation is so bad. We want a direction. Who is leading this country must give us a direction to reverse all these things. Thank you very much.
We from the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders do not have a choice but to support our traders. They say when the last trader dies, the freight forwarder will die. Without their business, we don't have business. But apart from that, we're also Ghanaians, and so we feel the pinch when we come to the same market. So we do not have a choice but to support what you're doing. Every effort that we will have to Ghana to support my brother here to make sure that we get some results. We cannot put the economy on autopilot. Something has to happen.
From 1st of next month, 1st of September, cars that are from 1 to 5 years is going to attract duty rate of 35%. Duty rate of 35%. And cars from, let's say, from 5 to 10 years is going to go by the same duty rate that we are paying. That is the 10% for cars below 3.0, and the 3.0 and above is paying the 20%. So we are saying that because of the protection of these assemblies, we are not against the assemblies to assemble their cars here. However, the government should consider the used car dealers so that whatever we bring into the country, at least a year or 2 years, if they put that charges on it, we don't have a problem.
So the business community reacting to the falling cedi, and well, as part of measures to, fix the situation, the Bank of Ghana has indicated it will soon close down licensed forex bureaus that are not complying with the foreign exchange laws. Officials of the bank disclosed this to Joy Business after embarking on a field exercise to check the state of compliance at some bureaus in the metropolis. There is the belief that actions by some of these operators have contributed to speculation in the foreign exchange market, affecting the stability of the cedi. Here's more.
The Bank of Ghana said this is one of the measures to control the sharp depreciation of the cedi. They maintain that forex bureaus across the country should desist from determining forward rate. Speaking to Joy Business, Head of Financial Stability at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Joseph France, noted that investigations are currently ongoing on some forex bureaus in the country not complying with the forex exchange laws.
As far as we are concerned, we picked evidence that they sell and they don't pick, they don't give receipts. They also don't identify the people, they don't pick their identification, and they also will not, and even if they want to, they can just offer, they have stock of identity cards and they use that to trade, you know. So in other words, they haven't identified anybody. And this has been confirmed out of the mystery shopping that we did. And so, yes, we are telling the public and of course the bureau operators.
Speaking on the way forward, Mr. France explained that the bank won't hesitate to flush them out of the system when found culpable.
We are after all the recalcitrant ones. Of course, we cannot say that all bureau operators are doing something wrong, but the ones who are not doing good business, we will flush them out and will not hesitate at all to flush these people out of the system. Of course, before you close down, you want to gather evidence, and that is what we are gathering. Once we gather enough evidence, which we have, we will not hesitate at all to. So the investigation has started. We will continue with the investigation from here. Then we'll gather all the evidence that we need, and if it warrants closing them down or suspending their license, why not? We will not hesitate to do that.
The Bank of Ghana officials disclosed that the committee is poised to bring some sanity in the forex market across the country.
All right, let's switch topics now and deal with a different subject. The Bank of Ghana is cautioning the public against unlicensed entities engaged in the provision of loans to customers in contravention of the Banks and Specialized Deposit-Taking Institutions Act 2016. According to the central bank, these illegal entities mostly employ the use of mobile applications and social media in their activities. The Bank of Ghana is taking steps against these entities and is advising the general public to desist from doing business with all unlicensed loan providers. Banking consultant Nano Champon joins us to discuss this. Grateful you are on the program this afternoon, Anna. How rampant is this, and what more do we know about how these illegal entities operate?
Good afternoon to you too. Well, the issue is the precursor to the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institution Act was the Institutions Act, that is the Non-Bank Financial Institutions Act of 2008, which is Act 774. And what that sought to do was to give us a list in the first schedule of 7+1 set of institutions that are to be deemed as non-bank financial institutions. One of them is lending institutions. So go fasting forward to 2016, at 930, which referred to the Banks and SDI Act, listed that you need a license if you are dealing with the public with loan granting. And so, in fact, they used to be called money lenders, and now they've been renamed as microcredit institutions. So these microcredit institutions do need licenses to be able to deal with the public. They are dealing privately between, say, you and a friend, then it's got nothing to do with them. But once you are dealing with the public and you are lending money, then you got to get a license under Section 8 of Act 930.
But how are these entities able to evade the system and operate? I know the Bank of Ghana has issued a warning against them, but it makes you wonder why they are not able to, sort of fish out these entities early enough before they cause doom.
Oh, I can't speak for them, but probably ignorance may be the case, that because they are not taking money from the public, because these institutions are not taking money from the public notes. They are only giving money to the public. How they get their money to lend is nobody's business. So, but then, because they are dealing in the financial system, the law still catches up with them that they have to be licensed by the regulator, i.e. the Bank of Ghana. So whether they know or they don't know, they have to know that they are dealing with an activity which is a regulated activity. And so they have to get a license from Bank of Ghana. So
my
this
question,
warning...
My question actually was that why is it that the Bank of Ghana is not able to clamp down on these institutions early enough before a number of people are duped. Now we have a warning from them asking the public not to deal with these people, but you'd imagine that the central bank should have systems in place to check the practice.
Again, I don't speak for them, but probably it's better late than never. That they may have given them private warnings to desist from it, and they are still doing it. So
is it that our systems are not effective enough, do you think?
Don't pin me out there. The system is supposed to work, and we presume the system is working. So the fact that they are now drawing their attention both to the institutions and to the public shows that the system works. So let's hope that the institutions will heed the advice being given by Bank of Ghana before they bring the police around.
How much of a threat is this to the financial sector, do you think?
Yes, anything to do with money has to be regulated, especially dealing with the public. If you, as I said earlier, if you are dealing between two people privately, it's got nothing to do with the public. But once it comes to the public, where these institutions have opened their doors to take money from the public, then anything that goes untoward affects the general financial system. And so it is a very big threat to the system, and that's why they need to be regulated.
Final one, any tips for the public? What should they be on the lookout for as they, acquire loans, they seek to acquire loans from entities? What should they be on the lookout for to be on the safer side?
Well, they should look out for a license, that they are a licensed institution. And in fact, the law requires that when you are licensed, you should display your license in your place of operation. So before you take money from any of these institutions, make sure that they are licensed, because if they are not and they are closed down, yes, you may think that you can get away with it, but you won't be able to get away with it because you may have pledged some assets and they won't go through the normal procedure to foreclose on the assets. And then you'll be coming back to the same government institution as happened in #1 case to ask for assistance to get yourself out of the quagmire. So it is advisable to those dealing with those institutions to ensure that they come under regulation, so that if anything goes wrong, then you've got recourse to the regulator to assist you to come out of the problem.
Nano Tue Champon, banking consultant, great to speak with you this afternoon. I appreciate your time. Well, interest rates near 30% as the government treasury bills auction was oversubscribed for the 10th consecutive week. However, the rising yields come with increased costs for government, as interest expense may likely go up. Head of Trading at Republic Securities, Patrick Edemagama, joins us to fill us in on what's happening with treasury bills. First of all, Patrick, tell us how last week ended.
All right, so good afternoon. For last week, we saw that the government exceeded its target again, raising about 1.16 billion Ghana cedis on the 91 day and the 182 day bills. For the 91 day, we saw that it inched up by 38 basis points to clear at 27.7. But one thing we should note here is that bids as high as 28.3% were accepted. This is about, in fact, less than 200 basis points to hit 30%. For the 182 days, bids as high as 29.9% were accepted, although it cleared at 29.2%. So it should tell you that even at the primary level, we have already reached that level where we've reached 30% in terms of bids that are being accepted for these tenors. On the secondary market, for instance, we've seen securities from 2023 and 2025 maturities trading above 33% on the secondary market. We are beginning to see increasing volumes also on the secondary market, where the total trade volumes increased by 14.24% for last week. However, the liquidity condition on the market is worsening every day, where the market is still remaining heavy on the sell side.
Well, Patrick, whilst interest rates are rising, making T-bills attractive, It also means government's interest expense is going up, and that is not good in itself, is it?
No, it's not good from the point of the government, because it's going to put significant pressure on the government to pay back in the coming years or in the coming months. And when that happens, you see that it will increase the default risks attached to the issuer, which is the government. When investors perceive an increase in default risks, they actually attract more risk premium in order to compensate for the risks they are taking. And that also means that some level of investors or some caliber of investors will be out of that, because it's not every investor that loves risks. So some might hold and watch, and that is not good for the government. We are also not seeing any productive venture that can be able to return close to the rates we are seeing in the market now for government to be able to repay easily. So the government will have to rely on investors to be able to raise in order to retire the maturing securities.
Well, let's turn to the stock market. This week we are expecting mixed performance. What are you learning from where you are?
Well, from what we have seen last week, investors are trading heavily in the new gold ETF. It looks like investors are turning towards gold as a safe haven. We can see activity in some of the financial stocks. Access Bank dominated in terms of the gainers, gained about 10% to close at 3.3 Ghana cedis per share, followed by Benzo Oil Palm also gaining some pesos to close at 6.34 Ghana cedis per share. In terms of the losers, about 4 equities lost last week: EcoBank Ghana, Total, EcoBank Transnational, and GCB. So we expect the pressure to still be on the sell side as investors are hoping to move to the fixed income market.
All right, Patrick Edem Agama, the head of trading at Republic Securities, with an update on the T-bills and the stock exchange. Appreciate your time. We'll speak same time next week. Well, the Ghana Railway Workers Union has thrown its support behind the move by the Ghana Railway Company Limited to sign a $3.2 billion loan agreement with South African firm Tello DB to revamp the company. Speaking at a press conference, the General Secretary of the Ghana Railway Workers Union, Godwill Intama, said that the loan agreement would be one of the best contracts that will help push the company forward if it is signed. Here's more in this report.
Ghana's Western Rail Line, which spans 339 kilometers from Takoradi Port to Kumasi, is expected to receive a major infrastructure facelift as government, through the Ghana Railway Company Limited, finalized moves on a $3.2 billion contract to be undertaken by Fellow DB Consortium. The Western Rail Line, owing to some infrastructure deficits, is currently operating only 66 kilometers. Even as the move is yet to be finalized, the Ghana Railway Authority Board, as part of engagement, has met with the Ghana Railway Workers Union and other major stakeholders to seek their inputs and brief them on the details contract. Speaking to the media at the end of the engagement, the General Secretary of the Railway Workers Union, Godwill Intama, lauded the move, indicating it will bring the needed developments to the railway sector.
We engaged the board today. It was a nice presentation, but let's be honest with you. We have asked the questions that we feel that the rough edges should be smoothened so that we can all have a perfect arrangement for the railway sector going forward. Let me say that if this agreement should go through, it will be one of the best agreements that will help push the railway company forward. Because as we say normally in our interactions, I mean, a company, we are in a distressed manner. And so if a huge sum of money like this is going to be invested into the railway sector, to make sure we have a perfect line, we have the locomotives to run, we have the trucks and everything, training of workers and that sort of thing. It's a good thing that we support it wholly.
Godwin Intama has urged the Attorney General and the Ministry of Finance, who are analyzing the draft contract, to be diligent and to ensure everything is in order, and by so doing, they will also continue to support it.
We only urge the Attorney General, the Ministry of Finance, who are looking through the draft contract, to make sure everything is in order, and that we will continue to support it to make sure it come into fruition. We know some time back there was an agreement between Ghana government and Wuju company about construction of Huni Valley to Dunkwa. This is also on the same stretch of line. And so if you're going to have another contract which is saying that Takrady to Awaso, we are confused. We don't know the state of that Wuju contract. And so those are the things we've raised. If those things are fashioned out well, we think it will be a positive. Well, we didn't want a situation where we'll start a contract and tomorrow there will be court issues and that's which will delay the process. And so those are some of the things we're talking about.
For Joy Business in Athalia, Kwanza, Western Region.
And next, we bring you your money tip on Money Lab.
Hi everyone, welcome back to your favorite educational series, Money Lab. On the last episode, we looked at the tax implications of investing in fixed income securities. Today, I'll be enlightening you on what you stand to earn from investing in fixed income securities. With fixed deposits and treasury bills, you receive interest after the investment period on maturity dates. With bonds, you stand a chance of receiving your coupon payments on a semi-annual basis, as is the norm right here in Ghana. So note, fixed deposits and treasury bills give you a bullet payment on maturity dates, and with bonds, you receive coupon payments semi-annually up until maturity. Thank you for watching Money Lab, and see you next time.
And we have more on some of our top stories this afternoon on our website, myjoyonline.com/business, including Bank of Ghana to close down licensed forex bureaus flouting foreign exchange law, interest rate nears 30%, T-bills auction oversubscribed for 10 weeks running. More on myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Goodbye.